Jon Jones called us last night and retired. Jon Jones is officially retired. Tom Aspinall is the heavyweight champion of the UFC.
If I have learned anything over my short 22 years of life, it is that literally anything will happen before GTA 6. The petition worked. Jon Jones has officially retired from the UFC, and Tom Aspinall is your new UFC heavyweight champion. Thank God, honestly. I literally had a video that I was just about to release. I was literally seconds away from posting that onto YouTube, and then I go onto Twitter and I see the announcement that Jon Jones is retired, and I was like, well, there goes that work that I spent ages editing and fine-tuning and all this other stuff to complain. But honestly, I would remake that video 1,000 times, go ahead and shoot that in the bin over and over again to be told such an amazing piece of news like this. I have been the #1 Jon Jones hater for as long as I can remember. I hate this man. I don't know why the UFC has allowed him to get away with the things that he has, for just the inactivity, the antics, and I don't get what the UFC have seen as valuable in someone like him being the head honcho of the heavyweight division. It's my belief that the heavyweight division is by far the most important division in whatever combat sport it is, because let's just be real, the heavyweight division is most likely the division where you're going to get knockouts in, whether it's boxing, whether it's MMA, whether it's Thai, kickboxing, whatever. Anytime there's a heavyweight in the ring, everybody knows it's going down. To have someone like Jon Jones, who is supposedly is the greatest of all time, if we even take a look at his so-called legacy and his record, it's not even that much to speak of. I mean, he's fought people he's been way bigger than for so long, and anyone that was even remotely close to being his size, he started to struggle with. He ducked true champions, he ducked Francis Ngannou, and now by retiring, he has ducked Tom Aspinall as well. The longer that the UFC goes on, the more that Jon Jones's resume is going to age like milk, and people are going to realize what I have come to realize a long time ago, that Jon Jones is an absolute fraud. And I don't get why that the UFC has invested so much into him. He's not even a huge pay-per-view contender in the first place. He never has been. And to top it all off, he's just a garbage human being. He beats and abuses women. He literally had an incident not too long ago where he literally did a hit and run on a pregnant woman and just drove off. That's the guy that the UFC decided, you know what, yeah, we're going to let him keep his belt despite stripping other champions for far less just because they couldn't make a fight date or they got sick. Like, the UFC has been so like, oh, we're going to cut you off immediately to any other champion. But Jon Jones, he's been allowed to, what? He's only had 2 fights in heavyweight and been allowed to retain his belt for as long as he has. Yes, I am very thankful that this has finally happened and that Jon Jones is finally out of the way and the heavyweight division can finally move on. But I am not going to forget this, because I cannot fathom that this could have happened without Jones having some dirt on the UFC, and specifically Dana White. I know he's toned it back more so this year than in previous years. You just hear Dana going,
Jon Jones is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world,
the greatest fighter of all time,
ever.
and he just sit there and glaze him and get mad at people for not putting Jon Jones as the greatest fighter of all time when he's not. He's nowhere near that. Let's just be 100% honest right now. There is no way that any other champion would have been able to get away with anything remotely near what Jon Jones has. If you look over at boxing, for instance, yes, it took 20 freaking years for us to get an undisputed heavyweight champion, but look at who we have now. Usyk. He is a real champion. He's so good. The only people he can fight now are rematches against the best. Tyson Fury, he's beaten twice. Anthony Joshua, he's beaten twice. He's beaten Daniel Dubois once. He's fighting him again. I guarantee you he's going to beat him the same way he did before, and he's undefeated. That guy is a true champion, and I believe Tom Aspinall is the very same way. I believe in his last 5 fights, he has ended it in the first round. Like, Tom Aspinall is a true prodigy that I feel so bad for him, because he has been robbed of so many of his prime years, because the UFC has been held up because of them platforming and giving Jon Jones every possible chance that they can. Heard talks over the years of being like, oh, well, Dana White's been waiting for this Netflix deal or this sort of like TV streaming rights deal, and they were going to leverage Jones versus Aspinall on that, which even then, I get, but why does Jones have to be the champion for that to be so-called marketable? You could still have that fight today. Jones could come out of retirement today if he really wanted to, and the only difference would be is that the belt remains with Tom, because in that way the UFC can actually move on, and if Jon Jones wants to go fuck off into the sunset, he can do so. But if he decides to man up and fight, then he can do it, but just not as champion, because he doesn't own the UFC. He's not Conor McGregor. He's not that guy. I'm sorry. He's not bigger than the sport. And the fact that he's acted like he is, the fact that the UFC has pretended that he is just insanity to me. I'll sit here all day and talk about my rage over this whole situation, but regardless, I truly do believe that the UFC is going in the right direction now, and honestly that's very good, because honestly I've been out of the UFC for a lot longer than I wanted to be. You know, me personally, I am much more attached to the heavyweight division of sports than any other division. Sure, I love lightweights and stuff like that, but you know, with how the heavyweight division's been in the UFC as of late, and with the UFC's, you know, style nowadays being predominantly grappling, it's hard for me to watch personally as someone who likes boxing more so than anything else. And you'll see that through the plethora of content that I have on my channel, that I'm much more of a boxing guy. But I'm trying to get more into, I'm trying to get back into the UFC. I got a video coming out here this Wednesday, going over the UFC 317 card with my buddy. So I'm definitely going to be making more UFC content now, and thank God, because I want to get back into it, and I truly believe this is the best time, because now that Jon Jones is officially out of the way and we can finally move forward in this sport, that this is a great time to come back in and just truly celebrate this momentous occasion. If you're new here, my name's Kodiak BND. I make all sorts of fighting content, whether that be UFC, MMA, boxing, influencer boxing, and everything in between. So if you guys like what you saw here today, make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Your support means the absolute world to me. And with that being said, y'all, I will see y'all in the next one, baby. I thought I wasn't gonna come to the camera. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna come to the camera? Yeah, no. Y'all don't know me.
I can't take no